Ready to kick off automated processes to help you with your planning activities? You can run your data actions and multi-actions both in stories and in the calendar. The simplest way to launch your data actions and multi-actions is to add a planning starter to your stories. The Planning Starter widget is a play button that enables users to run the action manually on demand. You can define an optional label and description, choose how the data action will be run, and then select from the list of existing data actions. For data action starters, you can also choose an option for what the planning area is and define whether values copied to the target version will be published. If you embed the data action in a multi-action, these settings are defined there instead. Any parameters that have been defined for the data action display here. You can choose to change them to fixed values, or you can leave the parameters as prompts that will come up at runtime. You can add more data action starters to enable users to run other data actions. Alternatively, if you've already chained your data actions together into a multi-action, you can add a multi-action starter instead. Which option you choose depends on whether all actions are mandatory and need to be executed in a particular sequence. Once the starter is configured and your changes have been saved, you can execute the action in view mode. When you use the starter, you're prompted to enter fixed values for any parameters. That includes defining the appropriate target version, the time period from which the values will be copied, the time periods to which the values will be copied, a different one for each of the two steps in the multi-action, and a number for the revaluation if you don't want to use the default. The actual values from December of last year have been copied into the budget column for January of this year using a data action based on basic steps. The same values have been copied to the budget column for February and multiplied by 20%. You can see the changes made in the version history, where you can undo any of the operations. If you want to incorporate data actions or multi-actions into scripts in your stories, rather than starting them manually, you can create technical objects that reference the actions. Keep in mind that when you use data actions or multi-actions as technical objects, you must specify fixed values for each parameter, as prompting is not supported. Once the technical object has been created, you can use it in scripts, such as executing the action when the page initializes. To write the script, you choose the multi-action technical object and specify the action. If you don't want to run your actions manually in stories, you can use the calendar to schedule them as events. You start by creating a task event and specifying a name and start date and time. Once the task has been created, you can choose the action you're running. Define the values for any parameters, and finally update and activate the task. When the start date and time is reached for the task, it automatically starts to run in the background, and you're notified of its completion. For more information on how to run data actions and multi-actions to help with planning activities, check out the links in the description and the other videos about data actions, and try it for yourself today.